Mark Mon. He's the product champion. If you don't know Mark, he's been in this business for 20 years and been around a lot of booms, I can tell you that.
This particular model is a package 4, four-wheel drive, oscillating axle, diesel. It's our most popular model in this family. So we talked a little bit about that this morning. And this also has the optional Sky Power, which I'll talk about as well. And I'm going to start a little bit different. I'm going to start with the platform and work my way down. This is a 36 by 96 inch standard platform, all steel construction with a side entry swing gate. We went to that about, I want to say about 5 years ago, when we started coming out with some of the Sky Power or workstation in the Sky accessories. We also thought this made it a lot easier to enter and exit the platform and to load materials in and out of the platform. We also offer a 36 by 72 inch platform, and for some cases people want to go smaller. We've done that as well. The machine has 1,000 pounds restricted capacity in the majority of the work envelope, 500 pounds unrestricted. We also offer a 750 pound unrestricted work or platform capacity, which is basically some frame counterweight. That's what adds it on there, and that's an $1,875 list price option. So if an end user needs to have the good capacity everywhere, we can get that to them as well. Square steel tubing with inside handrails on the machine, so the operator can hang on when he's going up without getting his hands crunched. We also have an optional bolt-on handrail as well, which goes outside and a little bit lower for additional safety. We do have some customers like to get that, order that on their machines, but not too often. We have a standard tool tray on the machine. Basically a good place to put your power tools, fasteners, your Coke cans, what have you. Something that a lot of people say, "What do you really need that?" But I think a lot of the end users like to have the tool tray in there, because anytime you go into job site, you see a lot of stuff laying on the floor of the platform. That gives them a way to get stuff off the floor and a little bit more at hand. We do have standard 110 to the platform with GFI, ground fault interrupt, with the optional Sky Power generator. It's a 7,500 watt generator. You also have 3-phase to allow you to plug in your welder. On this side we have 220, and we also have the optional air line of the platform right there, which is part of the Sky Power package. So it gives you, so you can plug in a standard air compressor to give you air to the platform as well. Another platform I want to talk about just real quickly is that we do have an optional fall arrest platform. I'm not sure who all's seen that platform out there. It really was developed for the airline industry. Basically, it gives you a cable that mounts to the outside of the platform and allows an operator to exit the platform and basically tie off to this cable and work his way around. It gives them basically a periphery around the platform, working on airplane wings, bridge work, any kind of steel work, that type of thing. It's becoming more and more popular. As I said, we developed it for one particular model about 5 years ago, and it's now available in pretty much every model we make in the fleet, except for some of the real small electric booms. As far as the platform controls go, we have a cast aluminum box with a hinged lid. It opens away from the operator, so the guy can get in there and work on things. We have proportional lift and swing on the left, drive with thumb steer on the right. They're OEM controls. The other functions are toggle switches with large bats, so you can operate them with gloves with a rheostat control. We do have a little pad at the top there, which gives you basically, it's our machine status light panel. So it tells you when you have machine distress. It has a fuel gauge, your tilt alarm light, and also your foot pedal indication. The controllers do have a detent. Dean, can you show them? So we have a combination of things. We have a foot pedal with a 7-second enable feature. 7 seconds, it'll basically disable the controls, so it prevents guys from sticking a Coke can or whatever in there. And we also have detent on the controllers. You can see there. You have to lift up on the detents in order to operate the controls. So it's kind of a secondary safety feature there. And it is, Dean reminded me again, it's a fly-by-wire system, so it is a CAN bus. There was some discussion this morning about true CAN bus and not true CAN bus. And we like to say it's a fly-by-wire system on the machine. You have a control module, platform control module for our control ADE system, and also one in the lower control boxes as well. Basically, you know, the control ADE system lets you use the JLG analyzer for on-machine diagnostics. It's something that you know, a lot of our customers really like, having the handheld analyzer. They can plug it into any machine in the fleet and get some diagnostic capability that way. It also gives you warning lights, as I said, the platform and the ground station for high water temperature, low oil pressure, and machine voltage. Okay, you want to rotate the platform just a little bit that way. Moving down. That would be the all motion alarm. That's good. Platform rotators, the helical style rotator. We do have a 2-section high strength steel boom. It's a 4-plate welded boom itself. The optional, or the other model, 460SJ, as I said, has basically, it look just like this, only with a 6-foot articulating jib extension, and that articulates 130 degrees, plus 70 to minus 60. This rotator will rotate 90 degrees either way, 180 degrees total. The boom section rides on 16 wear pads with 32 bolts and slotted shims, so it gives you a nice smooth extension and retraction. Our power track, which is on the other side, can't see it, over here, is a zinc-plated power track for corrosion resistance. Has nylon rollers, so you get real smooth functioning operation for the power track. We put that on for some requests from some of the customers on the coastal areas. Just that they were having some problems with some of the power tracks in the field, just getting kind of gunked up and corroded and that type of thing. So we went with the zinc-plated power track with the rollers. A little bit additional cost. We think it's well worth money, well spent. It's also what we call an inverted style power track, which basically allows all the gunk and dirt that gets in there to basically fall through. So you don't really have to put a power track cover on for a hostile environment package. All the pivot pins you see on the machine are nickel plated, again, for corrosion resistance. Okay, working our way down to the chassis. The hoods are ABS plastic, and they do include noise suppression and heat suppression. And there's really no there's no true, I guess, noise level requirement, but we have an internal 70 dBA noise level that we try to meet. We know Europe's a lot more strict about noise than we are here, so we meet 70 dBA, basically from 7 meters. Dual latches on both sides. We do have cutouts, which we'll try to swing the machine around a little bit if we can make the room, but we have cutouts for your fuel fill, so and also to check your hydraulic level, so the operator doesn't have to lift the hoods to check his fuel level and his oil level and to fill the fuel. The engine in this machine is the new standard diesel. It's the Perkins 404C 20-22, 49 horsepower water-cooled diesel. We also offer the GM 3000 Vortec dual fuel and also a Caterpillar. It's the new Model C 2.2 diesel as well on this machine. As I said, it does have a standing spark arrestor muffler. We also offer a scrubber muffler as well for areas that want a little bit more clean exhaust. On this side, we have here is the Sky Power generator, the 7,500 watt Miller generator. We use a Miller generator, and also Miller supplies our optional Sky welder and the Sky cutter, plasma cutter as well. So we have a good relationship with the Miller guys. And again, that's a belt-driven generator, 7,500 watts. On this side, we have our drive pump and our 2 piggyback function pumps. They are Rex Roth 2-section, and they give 6.2 gallons per minute each. And that will give you simultaneous function operation of your boom functions. While he's doing that, the engine tray one bolt does swing out to allow the mechanic to get behind there to work on the components that are back behind. So you have good access to all your engine components. As I said a little bit earlier, you can see on this side we have your fuel fill here, so the operator doesn't have to put the hoods up, and also his hydraulic oil check. your fuel tank, hydraulic tank. The valve itself, everything's right here. Rexroth valve, your swing drive, 360 degrees continuous superstructure rotation. And here's your travel position lock. On the back here is a lower control box, kind of hard to see here, but basically it's an ABS enclosure that's molded into the actual hood enclosure itself. You have a large pictogram, so we think it's really easy for the operator to figure out which function he wants to do, which control is going to handle which function. We got, again, large bats for wearing gloves, toggle switch bats, and also we have the some guards here to prevent inadvertent operation. The machine does have now your basically enable feature, so everything's two-handed operation here, and you also have your light panel there to give you some diagnostics as well. You can plug in the analyzer either down here at the lower control box or up at the upper control box for on-board diagnostics. As far as the chassis goes, tires are basically a 12-16-5 loader lug style tires. These are pneumatic tires. We offer, of course, foam-filled tires. We have a optional high flotation tire for sand and turf. We also have the non-marking tire as well. Fairfield torque hubs, 37.9 to 1 ratio, bolt-on brakes. It's a Sauer drive motor. Does have an oscillating axle. The axle oscillates about 10 degrees either way. It does lock out when you swing the boom off of center. Either way, it'll lock out, lock into place, and then it'll unlock once you swing the machine back over into the travel position. You have lift and tie down lugs on the front and rear. They also kind of act as a protector for your steer cylinders in the front there. And we have some tie down points here as well if the machines want to truck a different way. There are 3 flow dividers, 1 front to back, 2 side to side on the machine. You get about, on this machine, well, both machines, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, 4.5 mile drive speed, 45% gradability on the 4-wheel drive, and 30% on the 2-wheel drive. Got that. Something else we also offer on the, on the traction side, and I think I mentioned it this morning in the roundtable, is the semi-track option. Basically, you have it's a bolt-on system. We bolt on an idler wheel that goes in about the middle of the frame there. Then you have a track system that goes over the front drive wheels and gives you some more traction as well. We sell a few of those machines with that option, and then we also, of course, have the 60-foot crawler machine. As far as options go, we offer a lot of the workstation and Sky accessories. As I said, we have Sky Power on this machine. We offer the Sky Welder, which is the onboard welder. So it keeps guys from having your weld leads out over the platform when they're working up in the air. We offer the Sky Cutter, Plasma Cutter, Sky Glazier, which is the glazier package for glaziers, panel carry, whatever you want to call that, pipe racks, and we have a Sky Air package as well, which is a 9 CFM onboard air compressor, and all the normal things, work lights and that type of thing. And that is basically it. Any questions?
You said a second ago, spark arrestor muffler, is that
Yes.
standard?
Standard spark arrestor muffler, yes.
Okay. Explain, you may have done this, but I'd like you to go in a little bit more depth like you did with Jeannie. Explain the way that the interlocks work with regards to if there are cutouts, at what height, what speed, and how those are actually enabled or disabled.
Right. We have basically an angle cutout for high speed.
At about what?
Just it's probably about 10 degrees, Dean. You think? 8 to 10 degrees.
8 to 10 degrees. Okay.
There is no cutout for telescopes. So we have the one high-speed drive cutout.
Okay.
We have the sensors or the cutouts or the sensors for the high capacity. So we have an angle sensor for the capacity to measure the angle, and also a length sensor, which just tells the operator which zone he's in. We don't cut out any functions, so it's really up to the operator to determine where he is in the work envelope and what kind of capacity he can have in the machine.